Goddess Nut. She is a very powerful mother goddess, and was actually the mother of a lot of major Egyptian goddesses and gods. Anyhow, here is her hieroglyphics, titles, alternative names and spellings, and symbols.
With the arms of the Great Mother ever surround me, with the arms of the Great Mother ever surround me, I invoke the protection of Divine Mother's embrace. I invoke the protection of Divine Mother's grace. With the arms of the Great Mother ever surround me, with the arms of the Great Mother ever surround me, I invoke the protection of Divine Mother's embrace. I invoke the protection of Divine Mother's grace. With the arms of the Great Mother ever surround me, with the arms of the Great Mother ever surround me, I invoke the protection of Divine Mother's embrace. I invoke the protection of Divine Mother's grace. With the arms of the Great Mother ever surround me, with the arms of the Great Mother ever surround me, I invoke the protection of Divine Mother's embrace. I invoke the protection of Divine Mother's grace. With the arms of the Great Mother ever surround me, with the arms of the Great Mother ever surround me.
Goddess Nut. As I said, she is the mother of the gods. She is the goddess that actually was the mother of the major Egyptian gods and goddesses. We will get to them later. There is a lot of story about Goddess Nut that kind of goes with God Geb, which we will discuss later. Anyhow, she is the goddess of night, reincarnation, and weather. That being that she is also called the Star Goddess, which was not listed in the titles, which I forgot to put. She is always seen as blue most of the time, and mainly all her pictures are shown of her stretching over Geb with I forgot his name, standing in between them. Their love for each other was so strong that they weren't supposed to be together. I can't remember the story exactly, but I will list a link of that story below. Anyhow, her sacred animals, she had 5 sacred animals. They were bulls, cows, eagles, peacocks, pigs. Unfortunately, I don't know a lot about this goddess, so that's why I'm going to give you more links, the stories and stuff of her. But I know that she has been around for a very long time, and me personally, I would call her the original mother goddess. There is a couple mother goddesses that we've known of and have gone through, but she to me would be the original mother goddess. Her sacred color, of course, being blue. Her being, sky goddess and always has stars on her. And her sacred stones, which is lapis and turquoise. And the lapis stone, as you saw, has crystals on it, like blue crystals and stuff, which is kind of cool, which is why that would be a sacred stone to her. Her sacred plant is a sycamore. And her mother was Tefnut, and her father was Sue. Now, her husband that I've said was Geb, and he was called father of the gods. Now, the story goes with all this mainly when Nut wanted children. Ra was a very jealous god, according to Egyptian history, and he did not really jealous, but I mean that he was scared kind of how powerful Nut is, and he didn't really want her to have kids, and kind of had like a ban on it somehow for her not to have children. As I said, there will be links of the stories and stuff. If I'm not getting it completely correct, I apologize. And what happened was eventually Ra was gonna give some of his power over to Thoth, and Thoth granted Nut children. Said, okay, I will give you 5 children. On the first day, her first child was Osiris. Her second child was Horus the Elder. Her third child was god Set. Her fourth child was goddess Isis. And her last and fifth child was goddess Nephthys. So those right there are very powerful gods and goddesses. Osiris and Isis coming together, being mates, husband and wife, and Set, as we know, is a very powerful god, and a very jealous god that we talked about. Now, Horus the Elder is not what you think of Horus. It is not Horus. It is a very ancient god, not very much talked about. But people confuse him with Horus. Me personally, I do not believe it is the Horus that my personal god Horus is that I did. And we know that Nephthys actually married Set. So it's kind of interesting that her kids, Horus got together with Isis, and Nephthys got together with Set. It's like, okay, my children really loved each other. I don't want to speak negative about the gods and goddesses, so I'm just saying. Back then they didn't see anything wrong with it. And actually a little story that I forgot to tell you before, about Nephthys when I did her, is that Nephthys had Anubis, but it wasn't to Set, it was to Osiris. She got Osiris, tricked Osiris to sleep with her to have a child, because Set could not have children because of the battle between him and Horus, where he removed Horus's left eye, and then Horus in return basically made him fertile, removed his nuts. So that was a very powerful event. So you can imagine the family reunions. Holy hell. Well, anyhow, that's about all I have for Goddess Nut. I'm sorry if I don't have a lot of information again, but I will list some links. Anyhow, this has been Rainbow Pagan, and may you have a blessed week.